People ask me all the time, how did you get on the spiritual path? Or how do I get on the spiritual path? I don't know why people ask me that question out of all people, but for me personally, when I look back on my life, I just kind of see that it makes sense when I look at where I'm at now and all the steps that I took to get me here. I see that I've always been on the path. So like when people ask me this question of how do I get on the path or how did you get on the path, I don't know how to answer it, because it's just like I just woke up here and the path was already laid before me by whoever, the ancestors or whoever, God, whoever laid it out for me to walk, whoever built this conveyor belt. There's been a lot of aha moments and a lot of really sad, depressing, lonely nights, but yeah, it all makes sense, you know, like I can see how the aha moments are just as equally valid as being teachers as a depressing moment. And in the moments where I felt suicidal or I felt worthless or I felt like I couldn't make it, but then you do make it. And those moments become just as defining and just as useful in our path. Because a lot of us, we think of spirituality as being kind of like butterflies. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's tons of butterflies all over this beautiful place. This is Hampi in India. And yeah, this place is incredible. But when people think of spirituality, this is the kind of shit they think of. They think of beautiful, beautiful things. But there are beautiful things happening in the depths of your pain. People say things like, I'm a Buddhist, and they do the Buddhist thing. Or they say, I'm a Christian, and they do the Christian thing. Some people, you know, just do their own thing, and they do their own thing. But these are all symbols at the end of the day for us to align to something higher than ourselves, something deeper than ourselves, some truth, some true meaning beyond our ego. Because we know there's something more, right? We know there's something more than ourselves. There's a helicopter here. I bet 500 years ago when they were building this temple, they didn't think a helicopter would be flying above it. We know that there's something more than ourselves because, you know, here we are. There's things happening that is beyond our thoughts, beyond our control. There's a whole world, a whole universe in which we are merely a part of. So we need a symbol to connect to that mystery, because most of us can't find the mystery within ourselves. We think we are just like these mundane, kind of ordinary happenings. You know, who looks at their own experience as being this mystical, magical experience? We might have moments of it, but we don't live through those moments. If we did, what is there to be sad about? The spiritual path is synonymous with life. The spiritual path's not real. There's no spiritual path. There is simply this moment. This moment, this life, this eternal happening. That's the path. You know, the path isn't meditation. The path isn't yoga. The path isn't surrendering yourself to Christ. These things will take you somewhere. They will show you yourself, or bits of yourself. But they're just mirrors. They're just acting as mirrors for us to reflect back to us our own truths. Like, I think of it this way. I think of it as watching a movie. You know, you go to a cinema, a theater, you watch some very inspiring movie. You're sitting in your chair watching lights flash on a screen. After 2 hours, you leave the theater feeling refreshed, inspired, like you can change the world. Maybe you feel in love, inspired. Nothing happened. You sat down in a movie theater and watched sounds and lights flicker on a screen. That was already inside of you. You just needed the symbol to bring it out of you. And that's what these spiritual practices, these spiritual paths do. They act as a guide or act as a map They act as a map of ourselves. And you know, you can look at the world as being a similar map of ourselves. The path is this moment. It's this moment. This is the path. The path is whatever's in front of you, whatever's beneath your feet. And your feet. Your feet are also the path, because they're connected to it and they get you to where you're going, which is nowhere. Life's a paradox because you're already where you need to be. If you're interested in practicing real spirituality, then do something you hate. Do something you hate. Hang out with someone you don't like. Put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. It's easy. It's so easy to be spiritual when things are going good. The real work, the serious work, comes from uncomfortability. So put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Ram Dass used to say, if you think you're enlightened, spend a weekend with your family. I love that saying. If you think you are enlightened, spend a weekend with your family. The mirror. It's always there, reflecting us back to ourselves. That's the paradox of duality, is that it's one, but it's also different. Simultaneously one and different. We're one with the universe, but we're also different from it. The universe has produced us to feel separate, to feel what it means to be who we are in this specific body, in this specific experience. The universe, you are here because the universe wants to feel. It wants to know what it's like for you to exist and for you to happen, your life to happen. After traveling around the world and traveling in India for a long time, India is a hard place to travel by yourself. It really forces that uncomfortability and confronts you with a lot of things that you wouldn't be confronted with back in America or just a different place here. And every day I find myself becoming more aligned with who I am. Because like I said, I've always been on the path. I've always felt like I've been going where I'm going. I still feel like the same person I've always been. I'm still the same kid I always was, just shuffling through life, doing my best. But the more I embrace uncomfortability, the more I become more me, more in myself, you know? It's all valid, it's all perfect because it's made for you. This experience is tailored for you. And somehow we all are in the collective dream together. But it's for you. They say that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And I think that there is a part of us that exists beyond the temporariness of our bodies. But I think there's also something very mysteriously divine and mysteriously beautiful about the human experience and about sitting in the place of being a human being. What is this place? How did we get here? How did we wake up on this earth in these bodies? The mystery is my religion. Being the mystery is my practice. Because whatever is happening to all of us right now, to you watching this video, whether or not you like me or what I'm saying, you are having a crazy experience right now. You're sharing it with me and the rest of the people on this planet. And if that's not beautiful, well, it is beautiful. So you're wrong. My name's Dakota. Make sure to click subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. And if you'd like to watch me travel around India, I've got a bunch of videos on here on my YouTube channel, and I've been all around. I've got some cool stuff for you to check out. Life is beautiful, beautifully strange. See you guys in the next video.
Okay, dude, you ready?
I know words, I had the best words.